is the intense dwelling in thought upon any idea or theme with the object of thoroughly comprehending it. And whatsoever you constantly meditate upon, you will not only come to understand, but will grow more and more into its likeness. For it will become incorporated into your very being, will become in fact your very self. If therefore you constantly dwell upon that which is selfish and debasing, you will ultimately become selfish and debased. If you ceaselessly think upon that which is pure and unselfish, you will surely become pure and unselfish. Tell me what that is upon which you most frequently and intensely think, that to which in your silent hours your soul most naturally turns, and I will tell you to what place of pain or peace you are traveling, and whether you are growing into the likeness of the divine or the bestial. There is an unavoidable tendency to become literally the embodiment of that quality upon which one most constantly thinks. Let therefore the object of the meditation be above and not below, so that every time you revert to it in thought, you will be lifted up. Let it be pure and unmixed with any selfish element, so shall your heart become purified and drawn near to truth, and not defiled and dragged more hopelessly into error. Meditation, in the spiritual sense in which I am now using it, is the secret of all growth in spiritual life and knowledge. Every prophet, sage, and savior became such by the power of meditation. Buddha meditated upon the truth until he could say, I am the truth. Jesus brooded upon the divine immanence until at last he could declare, I and my Father are one. Meditation centered upon divine realities is the very essence and soul of prayer. It is the silent reaching of the soul toward the eternal. More petitionary prayer without meditation is a body without a soul, and is powerless to lift the mind and heart above sin and affliction. If you are daily praying for wisdom, for peace, for loftier purity, and a fuller realization of the truth, and that for which you pray is still far from you, it means that you are praying for one thing while living out in thought and act another. If you will cease from such waywardness, taking your mind off those things, the selfish clinging to which debars you from the possession of the stainless realities for which you pray, if you will no longer ask God to grant you that which you do not deserve, or to bestow upon you that love and compassion which you refuse to bestow upon others, but will commence to think and act in the spirit of truth, you will day by day be growing into these realities, so that ultimately you will become one with them. He who would secure any worldly advantage must be willing to work vigorously for it, and he would be foolish indeed who, waiting with folded hands, expected to come to him for the mere asking. Do not then vainly imagine that you can obtain the heavenly possessions without making an effort. Only when you commence to work earnestly in the kingdom of truth will you be allowed to partake of the bread of life. And when you have, by patient and uncomplaining effort, earned the spiritual wages for which you ask, they will not be withheld from you. If you really seek truth, and not merely your own gratification, if you love it above all worldly pleasures and gains, more even than happiness itself, you will be willing to make the effort necessary for its achievement. If you would be freed from sin and sorrow, if you would taste of the spotless purity for which you sigh and pray, if you would realize wisdom and knowledge and would enter into the possession of profound and abiding peace, come now and enter the path of meditation, and let the supreme object of your meditation be truth. At the outset, meditation must be distinguished from idle reverie. This is nothing dreamy and unpractical about it. It is a process of searching and uncompromising thought, which allows nothing to remain but the simple and naked truth. Thus meditating, you will no longer strive to build yourself up in your prejudices, but, forgetting self, you will remember only that you are seeking the truth. And so you will remove, one by one, the errors which you have built around yourself in the past, and will patiently wait for the revelation of truth, which will come when your errors have been sufficiently removed. In the silent humility of your heart, you will realize that there is an inmost center in us all, where truth abides in fullness and around. Wall upon wall, the gross flesh hems it in, this perfect, clear perception which is truth. A baffling and perverting carnal mesh blinds it and makes all err and to know, rather consists in opening out of a way, whence the imprisoned splendor may escape, than an effecting entry for light, supposed to be without. Select some portion of the day in which to meditate, and keep that period sacred to your purpose. The best time is the very early morning, when the spirit of repose is upon everything. All natural conditions will then be in your favor. The passions after a long bodily fast of the night will be subdued. The excitements and worries of the previous day will have died away. And the mind, strong and yet restful, will be receptive to...
So dear, what I mean to say, this is one of the great video which was really narrated by one of the wonderful philosopher, thinker and orator. I have presented to you so you understand what is meditation. Meditation is the visualization, picturization of an object, an idea, ideal or thing, or purpose of your life to attain it, and that is ultimate goal is to know the truth, to know the meaning of life, and always striving, seeking and finding different ways and means to attain that particular objective of your life. So if you keep on dwelling with very intense desire, committed, dedicated, persevering, persisting, obsessed with that object, and you are going to really get it. That is also called law of attraction. Like attracts like. Whatever the dominant thought of your mind, it has a natural tendency to garment itself with the physical reality. That's why my friend and guru and guide Dr. Napoleon Hill wrote a book, Think and Grow Rich, where he has written very clearly, any object, any idea, theme or purpose which has become obsession of your life, and you always meditate upon it, think upon it, and it has become so much deeply rooted in your heart, mind and soul that it is going to happen to you. So said my another great friend, Ralph Waldo Emerson. You decide what you want in life, you just dwell on it intensely, constantly, persistently, and then the universe will come to see that it happens to you. The whole universe will be coming as your mastermind alliance partner to see it happen. But the desire should not be just hope or wishes. The goal should not be just something elusive, something that you are not very much interested in getting it. So that's why it is called intense dwelling on a particular thought, dedicated, committed, ready to stake even your existence for its fulfillment, and that is going to happen. Buddha committed, dedicated to unfold the mystery of the peace, joy and happiness of life, and he discovered it and said, I am truth, I am awake, I am enlightened, I have no darkness in my life, everything is very vivid and clear to me. That's the way to meditate, to contemplate, and that's the way to glorify your life. Beloved friends, Buddha was searching the real way where there is a peace, prosperity, tranquility, serenity, and there is no sorrow, grief, pain, stress, strain, misery, disaster, and all such kinds of casualty because of the ignorance of the mankind, because of too much of desires, unwanted desires. And so he searched the way. But you can have your own goal. I do not mean that you become something like a stoic and saint. Even your worldly desires can be achieved by meditating on such things. Suppose you have got a definite purpose in life. This may be anything and everything else, and you want it. Go ahead. Visualize, picturize that conditions and circumstances and environment in which you want to be, dwell in it that. Stay there permanently, perennially, so that what happens, I tell you what James Allen said in his As a Man Thinketh, cherish your vision, cherish your ideal, cherish the music that stirs your heart, the loveliness that drapes your mind, and the beauty that forms in your truth. And then what happens? If you really truly love it, and you want it at all cost of your life, then all the delightful conditions and circumstances created by the universe and the heavenly support will come to you. It means that the vision which you glorify in your mind and the ideals that you intern in your heart, that will be your life. That is called meditation. Meditation summary, dwelling on a certain object, mission, vision, ideals, theme, objective, destination, perennially, permanently, and dedicated, committed, willing, with iron willpower, strong-minded, steadfastly holding to that conviction what you want to be in life, never giving up, never quitting, undergoing all sorrow, suffering, grief and pain of the journey of attainment of that object, you will be what you will to be. Hey, yes. God bless you and thank you very much. Victory awaits you. You are wonderful. You are going to get what you want in life. That is the real theme of life. And then look at the James Allen, one of the great guru and guide. And may God bless you and thank you very much, friends, for watching the video.